I just very quickly want to go through some of the custom options that you can choose when you install R on Windows. So here I'm starting up the setup program, and first you'll notice that there are a number of different languages that you can install R for, and so everything from traditional to simplified Chinese to Danish to German, and so you can pick the language of your choice if it happens to be on this list. Otherwise, here I'm going to go with English because that's my language. So going through the setup menu, you still have to accept the license. You can change the directory in which R is installed, but usually the default's okay. For those of you with 64-bit systems, you may want to choose a custom installation and install the 64-bit files, which allows you to kind of larger memory space. But for most people on Windows, the 32-bit user installation will be sufficient. Um, so you can customize the startup procedure a little bit. One is to choose whether you want multiple windows, MDI, which is one big window, or SDI, which is separate windows. The MDI is the default, and what it does is it launches R in one big window, and then all of the sub windows are kind of contained within that one window. SDI is the other option, and what it does is all of the windows that R generates, for example, graphics windows, the console window, will all be separate windows rather than all contained in one big window. Um, so I'm going to choose the SDI option here so we can see the difference. The other option here is plain text versus HTML help. HTML help is the default, but I'm going to go with plain text here just so you can see the difference. As far as standard versus Internet 2, this is not an option you need to worry about. These options you can leave, use the default. So we're going to install all the files here. And click Finish. So now when I start up R, you'll see that there's only one window here. You don't see the big window in the background. And if I look at the help page for a certain function like LM, you'll see it comes up in a separate window, and all of the help is in a text format rather than HTML. So those are some of the custom options in Windows, in the Windows version of R that you can choose when you're installing it. It's worth noting that none of these options are really critical for your ability to use R. They're really more about the style and how it feels when you're using it. So it's perfectly okay to use all the default options if you want to install R, especially for this class. You're not going to need any of the special options.